When Arya first moved in, I thought I was lucky. I'd been desperate for a roommate. Rent had gone up again, and my savings were barely breathing. She was warm, funny, a little dramatic in that way that made silence feel full. Her laugh could cut through a storm. She said she worked part-time at a boutique downtown and was studying graphic design at night. We met through a friend of a friend, one of those last-minute arrangements you justify because you need the help more than the certainty. I remember when she came to see the apartment. She ran her fingers along the kitchen counter and said, "This place feels like sunlight." I should have known that was a line. The first few weeks were perfect. We'd drink wine on Fridays, order takeout, trade stories about old relationships and stranger dates. She'd borrow my clothes and always return them folded. We shared playlists, grocery lists, even late-night worries. It was easy. Too easy. The first thing that went missing was small, my grandmother's gold ring. I'd left it in the bathroom after washing my hands. When I looked for it the next day, it was gone. I tore through the drawers, the shelves, even the trash bin. Arya saw me searching and said, "What's wrong?" "My ring," I said, trying to keep my voice light. "It was right here." She frowned, thoughtful. "Oh, I saw it on the counter last night. Maybe it fell into the drain?" I nodded, convincing myself she was right. But the drain was dry, empty. I wanted to believe her. I really did. A few weeks later, rent was due. We always split it electronically, simple, clean. But when I logged into the account, the balance didn't add up. I checked my messages. She'd said she sent it days ago. "Must be a bank delay," she told me, smiling over her coffee. "You know how transfers can get weird on weekends." Except it was Wednesday. I waited. Nothing arrived. I asked again, gentler this time. She sighed, like I was nagging her. "You really don't trust anyone, do you?" The words stung more than they should have. After that, small things began to vanish. Bottles of perfume, cash from my purse, a sweater I'd loved. Each time, Arya had a story ready. "Maybe you misplaced it." "Oh, I borrowed that to wear to class. Sorry, I totally forgot." "You probably just used it up. You're always spraying that stuff." I kept telling myself it was stress, paranoia, maybe my memory. But deep down, something heavy started to build. A quiet knowing I didn't want to name. Then one morning, I walked into her room to grab a charger she'd borrowed. I saw it before I even stepped fully inside. My perfume bottle sitting on her nightstand, half empty. For a moment, I just stared at it. The room smelled like roses and betrayal. When she came home that evening, I didn't confront her. I smiled, made dinner, laughed at her jokes. I needed to be sure. Because when trust breaks, you stop wanting explanations. You want evidence. That night, I ordered a small hidden camera online, a sleek black lens no bigger than a button, disguised as a digital clock. I placed it on my dresser, angled toward the door. It blended perfectly. For 2 days, nothing happened. Arya came and went as usual, humming in the kitchen, scrolling on her phone, talking about her new crush from class. I almost convinced myself I was wrong. Then, on the 3rd day, I watched the footage. She entered my room when I was at work, calm, deliberate. She opened my drawer, thumbed through the jewelry box, and pocketed 2 earrings. Then she opened my wallet and slipped out a folded bill. Her expression didn't change. No guilt, no hesitation. Just routine. I felt something cold bloom inside me. Not rage, not shock, just clarity. She'd done this before. I waited until Saturday. We had plans to go to brunch. She came out of her room in my cardigan, hair curled, smiling like a secret. As we sat across from each other, she talked about a big opportunity at work, some new client she might design branding for. She was animated, alive, lying effortlessly. I nodded, stirring my coffee slowly. "Hey, Arya," I said, "can I show you something when we get home?" She grinned. "Ooh, mysterious. What is it?" "Just something I think you'll find interesting." When we returned, I walked straight to the living room. She followed, still chatting. I turned on the TV, connected my laptop, and played the video. The screen flickered, grainy at first. Then there she was, moving through my room like a shadow she owned. Her words died instantly. She stared, frozen, watching herself slip the earrings into her pocket. I didn't say a thing. The only sound in the room was the faint hum of the air conditioner. When the clip ended, she turned toward me, eyes wide, lips trembling. I don't know why I didn't let her finish. I already sent the video to the landlord, I said, quietly. He has a copy, and so does my lawyer. You'll need to be out by tomorrow. Her face crumpled, but there were no tears, just the collapse of pretense. Please, No. My voice was steady. You don't get to beg now. You had every chance to be decent. She stood there for a moment, then nodded, her expression hollow. I'm sorry, she whispered, but apologies don't mean much when they're scraped from the ruins of trust. That night, she packed quietly. I watched from my room as she zipped her suitcase and carried boxes to the hallway. When the door finally clicked shut behind her, the silence felt heavy. Not peaceful, not yet. The landlord texted me later. Thanks for handling it calmly. She won't be back. We'll change the locks in the morning. I sat on the couch for a long time, staring at the empty space where her shoes used to sit. You think betrayal will make you angry, but sometimes it just leaves you empty, like someone rewrote the edges of your life without asking. Weeks passed. The apartment slowly felt like mine again. I started sleeping better, leaving my door open, breathing without tension. But sometimes I'd still catch myself listening for footsteps that weren't there, laughter from another room. One afternoon, a letter arrived in the mail addressed to me. The handwriting was familiar, soft, curved, Aria. Inside was a single page. I know what I did was wrong. I was drowning, and I took from the one person who tried to save me. You didn't deserve that. I hope someday you'll forgive me, but I understand if you don't. There was no return address. I folded the letter and placed it in the drawer, the same one she used to steal from. I didn't forgive her, not really, but I also didn't hate her anymore. Maybe that's what growing past something means. You stop wishing for vengeance and start wanting peace. Still, some nights, I'd look at that drawer and think about how easy it is for someone to slip into your life and rewrite the meaning of trust, how kindness can be mistaken for permission, and how sometimes the only way to reclaim your space, your safety, is to show someone exactly what they've become. When I hit play on that video, I didn't just expose her. I reminded myself that I wasn't crazy. I was right all along. And that kind of truth, the quiet, self-proving kind, is the most powerful revenge there is.
You've just stepped into her revenge side, where every wound finds its justice, and every silence ends with truth. If her story struck a chord, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Your support keeps these stories alive. Another secret waits in the next video. See how her revenge begins.